short game.
We're headed to the Warzone. Get geared up and stand by.
Yep. Oh, solid snakes back in.
All stations, we are green to go. Stand by for deployment. That bird's spinning. Finish up. We're airborne at 3. Things all here. Word came down. We are green to go. So gear up, grab your shoes. We're going to the war zone. You are cleared hot on all trips. Watch your ass down there.
Yep. How you doing? Playing Company Heroes 2.
Battle Royale.
Yeah, he seems to be. He's not answering me. I'm in a game of resurgence at the moment.
Safe zone.
Alright. Okay, I'll be back in 5 minutes. How long do you think you got left in the game?
Oh, we've just started, but yeah, how long's the squad gonna last?
Well, at least 8 seconds, buddy. Come
I
on,
would think at least 8. Probably no more than that.
I'm making myself a cup of coffee, buddy. I'll be right back.
Uh-huh.
Gas is inbound. Supply box is marked. Secure those locations. Move to the safe zone. Supply box secured. 2 to go.
Okay, keep moving.
2 supply boxes secured. 1 remaining. Contract complete. All supply boxes secured.
Oh, shite. Yeah.
Positive ID on the back.
Just put me in the gulag. Oh,
Your fight's over, soldier. Return to base.
These guys are fucking shit, man. I swear to fucking God, why the fuck would I even want to fucking finish this game with you?
Is Chris there, is he?
He was. Huh. Okay. And my God. Wanker.
Aye, the politics of Sheila's work is getting a bit steep.
What was that you said?
No, Sheila's just having a hard time with funders and things. They're all a bit mad, although starting to go her way a wee bit. Gee. The English are mad, you know that, don't you? They're quite simply fucking mad. The information is now fairly clear that youth vaping is up tenfold. They've been trying to deny there was any kind of problem. Huh?
What?
Youth vaping isn't a problem according to the Westminster government.
Youth what? Vaping?
Vaping? Yeah.
Oh, well,
Well, that's what she'd have split her life into, mate, you know. Not that you give two fucks.
oh, it was anti-smoking, not vaping.
No, that's smoking.
Well, yeah, but it's called vaping.
Yeah, but it's smoking, and that's what she's saying. She's saying it's just smoking. Why are you thinking should be sold on the streets? Why are you thinking this shouldn't be treated like tobacco? Why are you treating it like a kiddie's toy?
Well,
And Westminster's going, everything's fine, and she's going, is it because they're all a bunch of shills, and the company that...
I think you'll find, if she wants to find a way to get around this, just say that the man the man that she lives with, is now coming out as a woman, and that'll give her so many political points. And I'm sure you could pull it off.
No, I tell you what, why don't you do it for me? Because you're already there. I mean, you're already there. Why would I want to become a woman?
Hey, dude. You can
Hey,
keep
no,
the
listen,
beard. You
it's
can
always been
keep
one of
the
your-
beard.
You've always been your secret, hasn't it? I mean, I'm not going to support you or anything like I've always liked.
You know that I'm giving you that special salute and lightning to you.
Yeah.
Both hands pointing to you. I'm an ally, don't worry.
No, you're just a fucking fisher wife that's been born in the wrong body, I know. Yeah.
It's a shame for you. But you're ultimately
Oh,
light.
Christ. DM fucking said.
Wait, what am I hitting?
Fucking DMZ, I don't know. Fucking
Oh, you can
anyway.
invite me. It might work. It seemed to work the last time you invited me. I don't know.
I don't know. You have to get in first.
I'm in. I'm in the first place. I'm not in the second place. So I just hit DMZ then.
Hold on. Invite players. There he is. Right, what the fuck is free then? I'm not seeing anything free.
I think my game is locked. No, it's launching. It is launching. It is launching. Seem to have fixed that.
Oh, they don't. I just had to restart. Because I changed from Resurgence to DMZ.
I didn't this one said. Seem to have fixed that. You're fucked, but I'm fine. I mean, I'm having to restart because you invited me, but you know. It's all good. What happened to Peg?
I don't know.
Yeah, I quite like that game we were playing last night.
Hey?
Quite like that game we were playing last night.
That was alright.
Yeah, I thought so. There he is. I can hear him.
Oh. Wow.
Beckaroo.
I like the sound of that. Save a custom mod. Right, you're coming out with me. See what you like.
Telling you I'm not.
Oh,
Fuck.
What? Active die. Seagull.
Don't believe it.
What's that?
Alright, no, I think you're going to have to invite me again for fuck's sake. It didn't work. I'm in DMZ, but I'm not in a party. Maybe I just joined you.
Hold on.
Alright, maybe I'll just join you, mate.
Right, they are both max to the max. Quit to desktop. No, that's not right. Invite people.
Just joined you. Have I?
Apparently so.
Oh,
Apparently, sure.
hey, laddie.
How you doing?
Good, sorry I got so late.
Oh, not at all. I've been just got on myself.
I should have
Eric,
said-
on the other hand, has been in fits of tears because of the lack of everyone. But
Been on for ages. Quite enjoyed
You've been
playing
on?
Resurgence.
just
Only
sitting
chance
all
to
by
get to play
himself.
Resurgence.
Good,
Resurgence is great fun.
is it?
Yeah.
Another, well,
Got a third place.
No, your team got third place and you were there.
No, because two of my team fucked off, so there was only me and one other guy. I'm not saying I got many kills, but we got second place.
It's the only game mode in the universe where you're basically hiding for the entire duration is paid out at the end.
You're not. Simon and I, when we were in the other night, had a glorious battle.
We had several glorious battles.
Mm-hmm. People pouring into the windows. And yeah, it was great.
What did you get? 6 kills, Eric, and I got 5.
Yeah. Back in a
Who's
sec.
that? Is that Upstart? Oh. No.
Yeah, quite like your little board game last night.
That's good, isn't it?
I liked it. It's simple. It's easy. It's. I wasn't sure why you thought the Fisher wife was so funny, but there we go.
It's just impression was great, and because you were like, now that'll be 1, and that'll be 2. How many do I have to pay? I have to pay 5. That'll be 3.
It's because you gave me singles. Singles you can't. Don't give me singles and then expect me not to count them out. Give me 2s and 5s like you did later on. No other way of counting
them. Later on, you had a proper farming industry. Early on, you were just shocking with your. I've got one field.
Everything was ones. Everything was a 1 coin. I had 7 single coins, of which I needed to count out 5. What's more, I didn't know whether they were 1s, 2s, 5s, or 4s, because it's the first time I've ever played the fucking.
Heads, Eric. Is this one a 1? Oh no! Wait a minute. That's a 2 penny.
I know that he was any faster.
Oh, I know, but it was still funny impression.
Yeah.
I checked.
Impression.
I checked the rules. There's a couple of minor mistakes made, but you know that's board gaming for you. Someone like me. The minor mistakes were, well, one of the minor mistakes, which I'll tell you before Eric comes back. There's a section on strategy tips at the end, which would have been really beneficial to have been read to you guys. It says, number 1, don't ignore civilization cards. No, but anyway. Then number 2, collect civilizations with cards with an eye on final scoring. So this is one that really killed Eric, right? So I double checked. It seemed to me that he should have scored 1 for every house he had. That would have seemed reasonable, but that's definitely not what the scoring says. The scoring says, you know, take your little housing multiplier guy, your builders, and it says multiply the value by the number of buildings you have. So it says if you have 6 builder cards, you multiply your buildings by 6. So if you scored 1 for every building, that would then be 7 in fact, because you'd be plus, you know, it would be 6 builders plus the fact that you've got the buildings, which is 7 times the 6 buildings. So definitely you don't. And so obviously that goes back to if Eric had just got 1 civilization card with a builder icon, he would have got 13 points. And if he did, there was 1 card that I freaked out because it had 3 builder icons on it, and it was there early on. If he'd got that, that would have given him, well, I don't know how many buildings he had, to be honest.
9, I remember 9.
Do you think 9? So then that 1 card alone would have given him 30 points at the end, basically. And then he could have got more of those builder cards, you know. So if he'd got 6, as per their example, it'd been 6 9s are 45. So he'd got 45 or 54, 45, whatever. Yeah, 45. He got 45 points for his buildings, where instead he got nothing. So, and for a man who had shit ton of buildings, and obviously you score when you get the buildings, so there is that. So he'd scored already, but he would have been, you know, doubling up that score. So anyway, so one mistake was not reading you the strategy.
That's right, but we already worked that out, so that doesn't count.
True. The other interesting strategy tips are, before Eric gets back, 1, don't be afraid of blocking other players' access to cheaper resources.
Yeah, I'm going to work that out as well, yeah.
2, plan your turn carefully. Think about the order in which you carry out things. For example, if you have a figure on a 1-use tool civilization card, you may want to buy that card before you roll for your something else.
Yeah, we've worked all this out, so we're good.
Yeah, I know. Finally, if you're worried about the game ending too soon, consider blocking a building by placing a figure on a building on a dwindling stack. You are not required to take the building, so not doing so may guarantee another round, which is exactly what I said at the end.
Yeah,
Yeah, and actually, I hadn't thought that one through until literally we ended it. And as the last turns were happening, I was kind of like, interesting, because Eric was spazzing them. That was partly why it came to me. Because Eric was like putting them on and then going, oh, I can't do that. And then they
Yeah.
come back off again.
Yeah.
And you thought, oh, interesting, that doesn't move the stack. But the mistakes were, in a three-player game, you only use 2 village locations. We got that right.
Yes.
And only 2 players can place figures on each resource location. So if, for example, you place 3 guys in the forest, and Eric places 3 guys in the forest, even though there's 1 space left, I cannot place there.
Got that part about hunting. Is that all right? You can always do that with hunting.
You get as many people as they like can hunt.
So
that
that
was
was
my.
That was
Okay,
one.
I'm back.
So we're just discussing the micro mistakes that were made with the rules in
There's only one micro mistake made.
so far, which is if you're playing with 3 players, and let's say only 2 players can use 1 resource. So, for example, if you put 3 in woodcutting and Simon puts 3 in
Or even just
woodcutting,
one, apparently.
well, 1 each. I cannot put any in woodcutting. Another micro mistake which I did once is it says when you're putting people out in the areas to like hunt and stuff, like not hunt but like getting let's say you send them out to go collecting wood. So after you place figures on a location, you cannot place more of your figures on that location later in the round, even if there's space. And there was one time where I went, fuck it, I'll stick another one in over there because I may as well. Well, you're not actually allowed
I was going
to
to say something. I was going to say something at that point, but you know what? I thought, fuck it.
Well, it wouldn't have been very consequential. But yes.
No, once you put it down, that should be it. You go right down.
That's your decision. Well, this was a case of I put my 2, let's say, then Simon put his 3, then Eric went somewhere else, and then I went, I've got 1 guy left, bugger it, I'll join the other guys.
Yeah,
well, you're not allowed to join the other guys.
Yeah.
You're only allowed to place in that location once per thing.
That makes sense, because after the fact it seems a bit unfair.
It does. Then the other change, which is actually quite more consequential, it says, shuffle the building tiles, divide them into 4 stacks of 7 buildings each. Place 1 random stack per player on the board and reveal the top of each stack. So there should have only been 3 building stacks, not 4, which would have made the competition for buildings even tougher.
Right. I'm not sure I understand that. What do you mean by 3 building stacks?
So remember, there was 4 piles of buildings.
Yeah, okay, so there should only be 3. Yeah,
There should have only been 3 because there was only 3 of us playing.
Okay.
That's a small one, but it does change the balance. Of course, it makes it more competitive.
You know what? That one doesn't matter. We can choose to do 4 anyway because I quite like.
You can choose to do 4, yeah. And the other interesting thing is, I thought at the time, right, each of those piles is 7 deep, and if you go through a pile, that's a game over. But there's 36 Civ cards. But the impression and the intention, I suspect, is that at least 3 out of the 4 Civ cards go every turn, if not 4. So we should have been chewing through Civ cards more, and no doubt we will be in future. It's that we got nothing wrong there. It's just I wondered why there was lots of Civ cards left over at the end, whereas buildings we'd chewed through them. So if we'd have played it right, we'd have still chewed through
we were
buildings.
short of 7 cards really at the end, weren't we? Starting to.
Oh, they were starting to thin out, but I think there was at least 10 or so left, which is almost a quarter of the total pile. So,
And if we did
but
one
it's because you guys weren't competing early for them, and if you had been, there'd been, I reckon 2 or 3 would have gone every round. Well, it's always the case. The 4th one, which costs you 4 resources, everyone's like, oh.
Well, most rounds you would get 2 Civ cards, and I would get
That's
1
right.
Civ card because that's just the way it worked.
You did start to join in with the Civ cards, yes. Eric shunned them completely.
Yeah, it's why I came second because of my Civ cards.
Basically, yeah.
Oh, it is.
Yes. Yeah. So I look forward to a rematch
I'm
when.
still not all the way there. I think I need another 2 games before I think I've got it, but I like the game and it's interesting.
Well, the thing that I really like about it is, for the sake of argument, you only have, let's say, 5 guys. So at the maximum, you have 5 turns there, which keeps it all pretty simple. It moves things on. It's not like, oh, I've got to remove my 50 pieces and my turn takes hours. And because it's like, I place 1, over to you, Simon. Nobody's like, oh, I'll just wait 15 minutes of my turn again.
Do you know what's actually great?
Yeah, what is great?
of the people I know that are in this country at the moment, I have a bunch of real board games that no one wants to play because they'd rather do it online.
That's, I'd like to play the board games. We've been trying to do that for ages, just nobody else will.
It's very
That's a
difficult to
very
get
loose
games.
we.
It's very yes, but it's also very
You and me, you
most
have to do it.
most board games require. It's very unusual to find board games that are, you know, 3-player, for example. And it's weird that Stone Age caps out at 4 to my mind. Most of my board games require like 5, 6, or 7
I've
people
got Risk
to
Civil
really be
War,
good.
I've got Zombies, I've got
Risk Civil War's
Munchkin,
rubbish.
I've got
Munchkin
Yeah.
might be alright. I can't remember that one. I haven't
Munchkin's
played it.
okay, I've got fucking that Dead Before Daylight version thing of zombies, Infected, I've got Pandemic.
Yeah, but the question is, I'm sorry to say, Eric, are any of them any good? Like,
Yeah, Pandemic's fantastic because
Pandemic-
you're playing the
Pandemic.
game and it's really hard to win.
Yeah.
The
Sometimes
zombie
it's-
one is really good because you're 4 people playing it, and one of you is going to turn into a zombie. And then he gets to control zombie hordes to kill the other 3 before they get petrol and get off the board.
That's a perfectly fine game. I'm just saying that Axis and Allies is not one of the world's greatest games, and Risk most certainly is not one of the world's greatest games.
Risk Civil War I played with Aiden and it was quite a laugh.
I like Risk
Because
Civil
it's
War.
based on Marvel shit.
But what's wrong with Risk, Chris?
Just too simplistic.
It's a simple game and it's a lot of fun.
I mean, I haven't played it in 20, 30 years, but I
No,
play a lot
right.
more sophisticated games.
Every
since then.
different iteration of Risk is different from the original Risk. All the rules are very different but uncannily similar. Like
Yep.
Risk Civil War. It's basically Risk, but it's nothing like Risk.
And of all of them, I quite like Pandemic as the most drinking, having a laugh, taking the piss game. 'Cause you get a bit fucking wound up with Risk. You can get a little bit-
Pandemic is nigh impossible to beat.
Lots of board games make people quite antsy towards each other.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I personally quite like that in a way, but obviously it gets to a point that you're like, okay, that's not good anymore. You know,
Yeah,
you
I
don't
mean,
need to be tearing each other's throat out.
meant to be, and Risk does that. Risk will have people absolutely going mental.
Well, remember you played diplomacy once with all of us, and that nearly resulted in real war. Diplomacy is Risk, but with 5 pieces each, and it's utterly brutal. It's all about the alliances and the breaking of alliances. It's just, oh god, it's
It made me laugh. I thought that people did things that I made them pay for because they'd made agreements, and I liked it. It really made me laugh.
that's why I walk away from Risk. Is diplomacy is an infinitely superior game, but again, it requires 7-ish players to really have a good game, because the more players, the more loose the alliances and the more new alliances are possible. If you have 3 players, it's like, let's gang up on Eric first, yay, right, let's have a war against each other, yay. I mean, there's nothing, it's not interesting. This doesn't work. But that's why different games suit different player numbers, for sure.
I remember one instance when you broke an agreement and I was mooning about it seriously, but I was grinning inside. Oh, but I was grinning inside because I knew I didn't want to keep the alliance, and the fact that you were breaking it was going to allow me to go and fuck you over where I wanted to in the first place.
Are we playing anything?
So yes, I was upset about it, but really I wanted you to do it. I was pointing out you shouldn't, and boy was I right. And I went, okay, here we go.
I don't actually remember who won the game, I have to say. I'm going to guess I did.
It was probably you, but point was that I had an army and we'd had an agreement because my navy was sitting right on top of one of your places, and then you broke one somewhere else, and I said to you, you shouldn't be doing that. And you went, oh, it's just the way it is. And I went, all right, I don't think so because you've been in agreement. And then when you did it, I thought, fine, I'll do what I wanted to do in the first place. Because the entire reason we had an agreement was because you not wanted me to attack that place.
Well, it's a great game for having to think through all the repercussions in the long game. You can also usually only screw people over once in the game. It's very rare that you screw them over and then make a new alliance later, and it's of any thing. It's
It's just not going to be held to, is
that
it?
bridge is well and truly burnt. But that's where also self-interest kicks back in, and you go, look, I hate you, and I know you're a backstabbing bastard, but on this one turn, we can agree to block somebody else or whatever. If it's in your interest.
Oh yeah,
It's a hard one to say no to.
Oh no, you don't have to say no to that.
It's a game. One of the things I love about it is it's a game where you can say, Simon, can we just go for a chat outside? And then you get outside and you say, I have nothing to say, but I just know this is going to make so-and-so utterly paranoid. So I just thought if we just come and stand out here and giggle for a bit and go back in, you just watch
Even
what
if I
France
go
and
back and
Poland
say-
do.
Even if I go back and say, nah, he was just bluffing, he's got fuck all, are they going to believe me? No.
Exactly. It plays with everybody's minds. It's great for that. It's still doing stuff, Eric. It's still doing stuff. It's doing more stuff. Yeah, so I hope we have another game of Stone Age, even if Eric is doomed to fail. I can't believe he rolled so fucking well as well. That was the other thing that impressed me.
Oh, you did it well.
Oh, I didn't. I rolled
Oh,
terrible.
at the right times, you broke brilliantly. Getting the farm thing was
Oh,
serious.
At one point, I did just towards the end of the game.
Bastard. No, right at the beginning, 3 6s in a fucking row, you bastard.
Really? Oh, yeah, but you're rolling 3 dice. The odds are one of them might be a 6. That's fair.
I'm Derek.
I don't know. Is he no longer discordant?
The game
No,
got
he's on
so bored waiting